Welcome to it then, another episode of Off the Leash, brought to you by the Racing Post in association with Premier Greyhound Racing, and the stars of the future are on show this week. We are going to tackle the £12,500 ARC Northern Puppy Derby. Kicks off on Thursday night, and as ever, we're in top class company. Open race correspondent of the Racing Post, Tony Bullen, joins us. Tony, how's your form?
Yeah, a bit up and down, to be true to you. We're only in January. I'm not quite on the beans on toast yet, but we need to start turning a few corners for sure, Dave.
Listen, you've got it under the floorboards, under the mattress, the lots. It's all good. It's all good. There's no need for beans on toast in the Bullen household. Northern Puppy Derby, first big puppy event of the year, and always a good one. And this year has attracted raiders from afar, shall we say?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a long way to travel to Newcastle, but if you've got the dog and you've got a pup that you think's capable, then it's an event worth tackling, because the winners that he's thrown up, I mean, Clona Curly last year, Lynx Maverick, prior to that, Jaguar Macy. So it is an event that throws up a few stars of the future, Dave.
Yeah, been some unbelievable winners down the years of this competition. All the superstars, dogs that have gone on to reach Derby finals, win Cat 1s, be crowned Ground of the Year. So always a good event. We've got a couple of Irish raiders as well, which we'll get on to. Trainers coming from all over the country, heading up to the biker venue. Brilliant action. All, of course, live on the Premier Greyhound Racing Service. Behind the red button on Sky or on the stream. You're watching us here on the Racing Post YouTube channel or on our Facebook page. Don't remember to hit like, comment and subscribe. Let us know who you fancy. We're going to tackle the 6 first round heats, and we're also going to tackle outright honours as well. We are going to miss, unfortunately, we're recording this on a Wednesday morning, the Ladbrokes Winter Derby. Quick word on that, Tony. Given trial stakes, races that have been going on, trial sessions, it's going to be an absolute humdinger, that one, and we will pick it up next week.
Yeah, without a doubt, that's going to be some competition to win. And as I say, Monmore's always been a speed for Ben, so you're going to have to bring your A game from the first round to go all the way to the final in that one. Looking forward to the draw coming out.
Yeah, the draw will be out later today, so keep your eyes on Racing Post's ground, socials. It'll be in the paper as well. So we'll be across that, and we'll look back on last week's heats, which take place on Saturday on next week's show. Let's get to it then. Thursday night at Newcastle. We've had a few trial sessions, couple of weeks of trial stakes, and now we've arrived at the first round. There's 6 first round heats all over the 480 at Newcastle. £12,500 up for grabs. First 3 go through. It's fair to say, very quickly before we jump in, Tony, that it could end up being a fab fest on Thursday night.
Yeah, the way the draws worked out, I think you'll see quite a few shorties, but as I say, Newcastle is a tricky circuit to run, so nothing's a gimme, especially with youngsters learning the ropes.
Yeah, Ben running. As we've said on this show many, many times, Ben running is the key at Newcastle. Right then, 7:27 on Thursday is heat number 1. Let's have a look at the runners. Greenwell Crazy, 33-1 for John Flatley in the red jacket. Broadway Shay for Sean White in trap 2 at 11-10. Droopy's Deploy, the first of 2 runners for Irish trainer Robert Gleeson, 5-4. Savannah Marapi, 25s. Bombay Fantasy, 10-1. Race Night Mikey, 6-1 in the stripes. That's the field. We'll start with Droopy's Deploy, who travels over without a trial, which is a bit of a shame. But as we say, Robert Gleeson's base, I think, is in County Kildare. He's not round the corner from Newcastle. So I spoke to him yesterday. He said, we're going to have a go. Hopefully the dogs will take to the track. I'll expect they'll improve. We're just hoping to qualify. From what we know, the Droopy's Deploy dog looks the best of them. 28-23 at Shelbourne Park without hitting the boxes. He can clearly run.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, you wouldn't be wasting your time sending him over if you didn't think he had a chance. Newcastle, it's in the lap of the gods, really. Some dogs can take to it first time. Some dogs don't. You just don't know what you're going to get. Obviously, a look round is better than no look round, but clearly one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he's a top trainer, top bloke, and a top trainer is Robert Gleeson. He's not coming over to make up the numbers, I can assure you of that. Broadway Shay just heads the market, though. Very impressive winner at Toaster. Really good trial as well, 28-44, formerly known as Kulavani Shay, rightly heads the market because he's had the look.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what he necessarily beat at Toaster, but he done it in decent style, Dave. Showed steady progress at Shelbourne Park last year. The trial was highly satisfactory, and this is what we're touching on. That was his first look round. I mean, 28:34 first sighting at Newcastle, you'd be cock a hoop with that. Obviously, was a solo trial, but he still put the time up. And interesting to see the 4:55 because he doesn't look like a dog that's blessed with great early pace. So be interesting to see what he brings to the table under race conditions.
Yeah, another top man as well at the end of the lead there, Sean White, the Broadway man, if you like. Who are you going for? Give us a selection. We want one in every heat. This is arguably one of the more competitive ones because we don't have an odds-on runner. Who are you going for?
Yeah, I mean, well, the trial suggests that two, if he can repeat that, he's going to take the world of beating. I think at this stage, none of these are going to get near a 28:34, 44, Dave. So Broadway Shay, if he can replicate that trial.
Yeah, just purely because he's had a look, he'll have to do for me as well. But looking forward to seeing Droopy's Deploy National Stake finalist as well at Shelbourne Park. So we very much welcome Robert Gleeson over to Newcastle. Let's move on then to heat number 2, 7:44. And we got Hetton at 33-1, double carpet in the red. Ballymac Kobe, runner-up in the Puppy Derby at Toaster, of course, was picked up by Bombay Birch at 2-5. Savannah Vesuvius, Anna Down Alice, Big Prices, Infield Pep, and Swift Bullseye in the stripes. Now, we're going to have a look at one here. This was basically a trial stake last week. Infield Pep, in trap 6, 28.79. This one for Tom Hilbron. And, you know, he had to dig deep. It was a big price here, so it was unexpected, but he showed a nice attitude.
Yeah, he did. I mean, there was a bit of trouble around the opening couple of bends. Ballymac Kobe, the odds-on favourite, didn't fare too well and was out the back, but it was Sunnyside Jaden that was left in total isolation down the back straight. But I like the way this infield Pep knuckled down to the task, and although they come close up the home straight when he passed, he did go well to the drop, the infield Pep, and now he's a dog that's got his head in front. Who's to say he won't come forward?
Yeah, 4-1, second in with Swift Bullseye in the stripes. But Ballymac Kobe, another one, you know, Maxine Locker's gone up there, had a trial and a race now, Ballymac Kobe, albeit it was turned over in that race that we just saw. He's going to be very hard to beat, though, isn't he? Because he's got pace and he's got class.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is going to be his third sighting of Newcastle now. I didn't think he lost anything in defeat. He just didn't get any run around the first two bends and found himself nearer last than first. And I thought he ran okay to be beaten only 4 lengths in the end. He's a dog that can show a lot more urgency at the boxes. I think he can shave a length off of his sectional time and pace to the bend. So if he can get to the front, I think you'll see what he's capable of, this Ballymac Kobe. He looked a nice prospect at Toaster, Dave.
Yeah, he is a nice type. One of many nice types for the JR Racing Syndicate and Maxine Locke, as is Yahoo Maisie, who's going to be favourite for Heat 3. The 801 down the card. Race Night Ivan 8, Zari Rocks 8, Yahoo Maisie 1-2, Sunnyside Trish at 4s. 5 is vacant. Greenwell Tyson, another flatly runner in trap 6 at 8-1. Must mention 10 out of 10. Great effort from the lads at Entain. Labricks and Calls are first out the boxes to price up the outright market and the heats. Very quickly, Tony, as someone who I would bow down to your tissue, very, very good. A tricky competition to price up heats and outright, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, whenever you've got Irish Raiders, I think as an odds compiler, you sort of like looking at those instantly because they've not had a trial, so all of a sudden you're trying to gauge their actual Irish form as well. So it's sort of a double whammy for an odds compiler to sort of take them into account. You'd always err on the side of caution, really, but obviously Maxine sent down a strong team, but the form of her dogs and bitches are there in front of your face, so you can sort of put prices to those types.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at one that we do know then, and we know very, very well. The Bet365 Puppy Oaks champion, Yahoo Maisie, also won the Art Bitches Trophy final recently at Central Park. 29.15 on the card. This bitch has got phenomenal early pace, and she's a real handful to the corner. Newcastle's a speed track. This drop back from the 491 at Central Park, it's only 11 metres, but it is a lot less demanding, the four bends at Newcastle. It will suit her, surely.
Yeah, she's just a no-nonsense type of bitch, isn't she? You put her in the boxes, she catapults out, tries to build up a winning advantage, and it's a case of her holding on. And hold on, she's done in recent weeks, Dave. She cut loose from the pack when she won the Puppy Oaks at Toaster, and has done similar when winning at Central Park heat and final of that competition recently. Again, nice trial, nice split. I think Connections will be happy with the draw in track position and not opposition.
Yeah, she's going to be very, very hard to beat in that third heat. 2 votes for her. Right, let's move on to heat number 4, which is the 8-9 Westside Butch on the inside for Angela Harrison, 11-4. Then we've got Toddy's Raven for Tom Hilbron at 12s. Ballymac Axel, another one for Maxine Locke, 5-2. Droopy Smiley, 11-10, who was, of course, the bitch that was sent off favourite for that Puppy Oaks that Yahoo Maisie did win. That one for Carol Weatherall. Fraser at 20s and Brynoffa Snipe at 16s, a second runner for Tom Hilbron in this race. Droopy Smiley, going to be very, very hard to beat here, 11-10. We are going to look at Ballymac Axel, though. We've got another bit of footage for you. Again, we're at Central Park. Ballymac Axel, this was a heat of the Arc Standard Trophy. It didn't work out for him in the final, but he had Romeo Kingpin in behind here. He was in 4, Kingpin was in 2. What I liked here, Tony, was the attitude this dog showed.
Yeah, indeed, and that's what you want to see in youngsters is showing that attitude to get after dogs and pass them. And that was a good run considering Romeo Kingpin's no back number to give that dog a start and a beating, and wasn't really disgraced in the final the following week behind the Antigua Kestrels, absolutely flying at the moment. He got some decent times to his name at Oxford. I think he ran in a maiden event, got to a final of a maiden event at Oxford. Again, I think he'll find at least 20 spots for that recent trial, but it's a case of where does he turn? He's going to have to sort of track cleverly early, hold his position. That's the main thing with Ballymac Axel. And I just think the Droopy Smiley, as you touched on, Dave, pennies dropped with her. Obviously, no joy when looking to complete the hat trick, but again, nice trial from Droopy Smiley for Carol Weatherall.
Yeah, brilliant trial it was, in fact. 28.56 and a session which Yahoo Maisie did 28.60, so went half a length quicker than Yahoo Maisie. Very well bred, daughter of Droopy Sydney, of course, from that same litter as Droopy's Kathleen, who, if you read today's racing post, Robert Gleeson mentions that she's on her way back, so we're very much looking forward to her. But her litter sisters, Droopy's Flair we've seen, and this Droopy Smiley, this is some litter, and this bitch is rightly respected in the outright market as well. She's very classy.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, obviously didn't have the best introduction, KO'd on debut at Toaster, but back-to-back wins at Toaster prior to that. Okay, we've only ever seen her at Toaster, but I bet good money that she'll show her skills at most venues she turns up at, Dave.
Yeah, she's going to be hard to beat in heat number 4, but looking forward to that tussle with Ballymac Axel. Let's move to heat 5, then the 8.36, the second Gleeson runner in the red jacket here. Toolmaker Quick on the inside, 4-9. Greenwell Gypsy, 33s. Incolexi, nice to see top trainer Phil Barlow travelling up. 4-1 in track 3. Nothing Mad, 33s. 50s Poke in the 5. And Crystal Regent, 3-1 in trap 6 for Trevor Coote. All eyes on the red jacket here. Obviously turns up without a look, Tony. But very, very talented, well regarded as well by trainer Robert Gleeson. It's fair to say has fared quite well in the first round draw as well.
Yeah, that's the main thing that I looked at here. Like, as much as you're worried about the no-look round, the draw has worked out well on both counts. Won well on debut at Shelbourne Park. Came close to following up in a race at Shelbourne Park, led and just got caught near the line. But again, it'd be a watching race for me because you just don't know what you're going to get with Toolmaker Quick. He might live up to his name and show how quick he is, but if he's going to be winning the competition, you would expect him to pass this test, really, Dave.
Yes, yeah, again, and I suggested to Robert Gleeson when I spoke to him, is this dog just travelling over to keep Droopy's deploy company? And he said, absolutely not. You've definitely not seen the best of this dog yet. I think he suffered a slightly split web which has held him back a little bit, but he can really, really run. It'd be interesting to see how much pace he has got. Can he turn left at the turns? It's a very tight bend, that first bend at Newcastle. But he might be the sleeper in this competition. You know, he's going to be a short price. He's in at 4-9 for his heat. He could be contesting outright favouritism if he comes out and does something exceptional in the first round, which is, of course, a possibility. But 2 votes for him. He's a short price. I did mention it was going to be a bit of a fab fest. We think it will be. Let's move on to the final heat. Another odds-on favourite here as well. Very impressive in a trial stake last week. The 2-runner here, but we've got no harm in that. 16-1 in trap 1. Ballymac Lucia at 8-13. Another one for Maxine Lock. Glenrock King 20s. Easy Maximus 25s. Sunnyside Jaden 7. And Deliveroo, who's a well-regarded type, at 2-1 second in. We are going to look at Ballymac Lucia in this heat that I mentioned last week. It was a trial stake last week and just got tapped for a little bit of speed to the bend, Tony. Tangled up a little bit. And I spoke to Stadium General Manager Ian Walton, who's a fair judge himself, afterwards. And he said this was breathtaking on the eye. He was at the track. Phenomenal all-round pace. She flies down the back. She comes home strong. And with a clear run, she's going to be very hard to hold in this event.
Yeah, she ran well. I mean, she lacks a yard. That's the only worry. If she traps on terms, the natural early pace dogs can catch her at the crown of the bend, and then it's heart in mouth, like if she gets shuffled back, which she did on this occasion. But didn't she knuckle down to the task? She regained momentum, and coming to the third bend, she was absolutely flying. I mean, she ran a blinder. She was fetching in Yahoo Maisie in that Oaks final at Toaster after Yahoo Maisie had cut loose from the pack. She contested the Puppy Derby prior to that, so she's already showing that she's a competition type, Ballymac Lucia, Dave.
Yeah, really like her. Nice attitude, very strong. She's going to be hard to keep out of the frame. She's 8-13, and rightly so. The danger there being Deliveroo maybe cutting loose and getting first run, but again, you know, the preparation has gone in. Maxine Lock and her team have gone up, so you'd expect to see a good show from Ballymac Lucia in the opening round. Right, let's have a look at them then. The outright market. Now, this was very interesting. Again, hats off to Labrooks and Coles. First out of the traps here. I don't think I'd have fancied pricing up this event. We ended up 6-7-1 the field. So here are the prices. Droopy Smiley and Ballymac Lucia 6-1. Broadway Shay, Yahoo Maisie, Ballymac Kobe 7s. Then you've got Droopy's Deploy and Toolmaker Quick at 8. Deliveroo 10s. Westside Butch 14. Ballymac Axel 16. And then a bit of a gap, 28 bar. I'd say that the winner's likely to come from those that I've just mentioned. I don't feel like there's anything lurking in here that might come to life. And a very, very strong team of youngsters at the head of the market.
Yeah, I think Maxine Lock's got a good chance of winning this event. I mean, the kennel's absolutely flying. They've enjoyed plenty of success last year. They kicked off the new campaign in good style, and I think it's very difficult. I think you could have 1 or 2 free picks and come up shy, but I'm going to be with this Ballymac Kobe. I'll put him up in the Puppy Derby at Toaster in one of my columns. And he had no excuses. He led and got caught. But I think if he can show a little bit more urgency at the boxes, which he's capable of, I think he's a difficult dog to pass, Dave. And at 7-1, he'd be worth a little bit of my money.
Okay, well, very much some of the above, if you like, because I'm going with the Maxine Lock runner, who I think will get off the front. A bitch who's already won a big competition, Yahoo Maisie, a similar price as well, 7-1. And I'm the same as you. I think Maxine is probably going to win this event or go very, very close. She went close last year. Remember, we previewed it on here. Clona Curley picked up Droopy's Eunice, which seems like a bizarre thing now, given her exploits over 6 bends. So I think she can go one better this year, and I think it'll be Yahoo Maisie, who's got the early pace. The first round draw is very helpful. I think she'll just get out. And who knows? You know, there's youngsters in this event. We could see some upsets. We could see some shocks, but I don't think you'll see it in that heat. So I think she'll go marching on. So Ballymac Kobe for Tony, Yahoo Maisie for myself. We're expecting a bold showing from Maxine Lock and her team, all owned, I think, by the JR Racing Syndicates. They've got a tremendous chance in that event. Right, let's get to it then. Best bets of the week, Tony. Where are we off to? You can go anywhere you like. There's phenomenal racing Thursday night, whether you're going to Newcastle. The card at Hove is tremendous. Then, of course, we'll have the Friday night fair at Romford. All sorts of stuff over the weekend. We've not got the entries yet for the Winter Derby, so you can't have that, I'm afraid. But where are we off to?
Yeah, I've gone to Hove. I mean, when the Hove card dropped on Monday, it was absolutely, you'd think there was a derby going on. I mean, absolutely unbelievable for a run-of-the-mill, so-called run-of-the-mill Thursday. But there's 3 heats of the Coral 695 Stayers Trophy. And I've gone to the third heat. Hopey. Now, Kevin Hutton's bitch, amazingly, is yet to win at Hove and has had her chances to achieve that objective. But she ran okay in the George Curtis Ballarigan Bob Memorial Final, finished third behind Garfinny Blaze. I know this is the shorter distance, the 695, but I think that'll help. And I think she can hold her position on the inside. And if she does, I'd be disappointed if she fails to convert. So, Hopey. 7:16, Hove on Thursday night, Dave.
Okay, well, I'm going to Hove as well. I'm very sweet. I was very taken by Droopy's Invent. It goes in the 807, which is the Coral 500 Maiden Trophy Final. Over the 500 metres, I'm a massive believer on an inside draw over those 500 metres. It's not the longest run to the turn, and Droopy's Invent, he turns up in tremendous form. A3, A2, A1, won a heat of this event to shed the maiden tag in the first round. Wasn't quickest on the clock, so I think we might get a backable price, but a good draw on the inside. Good man at the end of the lead, Seamus Cale. And I think this dog will come away, hold the inside. He flies down the back, and I think he's going to be very, very hard to beat. So Hopey for Tony, and Droopy's Invent for myself at Hove on Thursday night. Tremendous action live on the Premier Greyhound Racing Service this week. We've got the Northern Puppy Derby kicking off at Newcastle on Thursday night, and Saturday night, of course, the Ladbrokes Winter Derby at Monmouth. We'll pick that up on next week's show. It's been a pleasure, as ever, Tony. You guys out there, get involved. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. We want to know who you fancy in the Northern Puppy Derby. Maybe we've missed one at a big price. I'm not sure, but if anything catches your eye at a big price, let us know if you're sniffing out the each-way value in that event. All on the PGR service. Remember to enjoy your greyhound racing and gamble responsibly. And we'll see you next week.